All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and for waiting patiently. As always, for the intro to finish up. MBG is cleaning mold right now. Irfan, what's going on, man? Yeah, so I just put out a poll. You guys can vote on that. Are you buying Death Stranding 2 on the beach? There are 4 different options you can choose from. But yeah, the reviews for Death Stranding 2 are officially out. And we're going to talk about it because, man, it looks like Kojima, he did it. He did it, bro. Digital Dude 25 with a $2 bulging eye super chat. Digital Dude, what's up, man? You're clearly hyped for Death Stranding, man. I'm hyped for Death Stranding. We're hyped for Death Stranding. And I'm curious to hear from some people today. If you were on the fence about Death Stranding, how do you feel now? And Digital Dude drops a single member gift. He's going to start the train today. He sees the cats battling, and he says, we got to get it started early. Digital Dude, thank you so much, man. Appreciate all the support you've been showing the channel recently, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nick, you're saying you still need to play the first one? But no, don't start misbehaving. Don't start misbehaving. Boss, I know you're hyped for Death Stranding 2, bro, but you know, you gotta calm down. Kojima could make a sleeping sim and his fans would call it a masterpiece. Well, I mean, you know, there's no denying that. I mean, look, man, Kojima, I don't think it's as clear cut as people make it seem. And Digital Dude 25 drops a 10 bomb on you guys. He threw us for a loop. He dropped a single. And he's like, there you go. Got a little single membership coming in. He's like, actually, we got 10 more. We got 10 more. Digital Dude, thank you so much, man.
Holy shit.
I'm going to add that to the counter. And just like that, Digital Dude brings us to 11 members. And yeah, guys, if we hit the goal, we'll feed this guy here. He's clearly hungry. He's like, you know what? I ain't dealing with this. Digital Dude, thank you so much, man. Listen, I don't like the whole idea of like Kojima could do whatever and people would just love it. It's like, dude, Death Stranding 1 was a pretty divisive game. I think Death Stranding 1 proves that Kojima, you know, if he tries to do something kind of out there and unexpected, it's not going to get just pure universal praise. And that's what I think is so significant about Death Stranding 2 sitting at a 90 on Metacritic and getting this mass critical acclaim, because it really seems like Kojima Productions, that is, really took the feedback of Death Stranding 1 and improved upon it dramatically. And Digital Dude says, I fulfilled my obligation of the 50 bomb. Well, it was an unconventional 50 bomb, Digital Dude 25, but a 50 bomb nonetheless. And you know I appreciate that, man. You know I appreciate it. So thank you so much for supporting the community and the channel. I can only do what I do here because you guys make it possible. So big shout out to this community for making it happen. Saying like usual, some of these reviews make no sense. Yeah, we're not gonna cover any spoilers, of course. We're not going to be doing that, but we're going to be covering like some of the reviews, what's being said. Apparently, this game is a lot more Metal Gear like, which is, man, very exciting to me. Very, very exciting. Xbox fanboys and PC/Xbox refugees are mad because Death Stranding 2 got a 92 on Metacritic. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell those people anymore. Like I'm just, to be honest, I'm done trying to have some kind of dialogue with those people, because those are the same people that tried to tell me and, you know, tell you and tell a whole community of players that, oh yeah, PlayStation has no games. Sony has nothing coming. It's the Sahara Desert out here. And it's just like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I understand there was maybe a bit of a lull period there, right? Like maybe the first half of the year, Sony didn't really have much. I get that. It happens. It's not like that's usual for Sony, right? That's actually quite rare. But then when they finally do drop a game, it's the epitome of quality over quantity. But then people want to, they want to continue to move the goalposts where it's like, oh, well, Sony doesn't own the IP. Okay. They just funded the game. No big deal. They just funded and published it. I guess that doesn't count for anything. Well, it's going to go to PC and probably Xbox eventually. It's like, okay, can you tell me when? No, you can't. So what does this mean? This means it's currently a PlayStation 5 exclusive. It's a PS5 game that if you are a PS5 player, you now have a big title to look forward to and play if you're interested. And I'm just tired of dealing with these people, man, and I'm not going to. The reality is, and this is just a fact, okay? This is just a fact of the matter. Sony and Kojima Productions in conjunction dropped a Game of the Year contender, or they're going to be dropping a Game of the Year contender this week. And if you are playing on PS5 or PS5 Pro, you can look forward to it. And if you're not interested, if it's not your cup of tea, no problem. Now listen, if you don't own a PlayStation, if you're not on PlayStation, and you're interested in this game, but maybe not interested enough to buy a PS5, I can't promise you that it's going to come to your platform. But what I will say is at some point, it probably will. Is that going to be 6 months from now? Is that going to be 1 year from now? Is that going to be 2 years from now? I don't know. So I'm going to recommend if it's a game you're really that interested in, maybe pick up a PS5, support it, play it, enjoy it. If not, then just wait patiently. But to all those, clowns out there that just want to continue to make it seem like, oh yeah, there's nothing going on here. Like, bro, whatever, man. We're going to be playing Death Stranding 2, and we're going to be having a good old time. So, Digital Dude 25 with another $5 super chat says, Death Stranding 2 so good it makes you want to slap your mom. God damn. I mean, that is a way to describe how good a video game is, I guess. Saying they always like to play the value card, a notion which is merely mired in subjectivity. Value is highly subjective. MK World is selling millions regardless of its $80 price tag. Exactly. Exactly. I don't think it's a problem if people want to wait, That's fine. I just don't like that. I don't like that people push something on others and make it seem like there's something wrong with you if you want to buy a console to play a game or just buy a game at full price. Like, leave us alone, man. Like, go be miserable somewhere else, Nathan Drake, I don't know. We're gonna try to keep the conversation to Death Stranding mostly, but I'm sure later on in the week. Mulan, you're saying, I will say folks who haven't played Death Stranding 1 should not jump into Death Stranding 2 blind. It's absolutely an unconventional game, and you are risking a lot of money for a game you may not like. Play DS1 and see if it hits. I mean, yeah, I could recommend that for sure. I don't know if my theory is going to turn out to be true or not, and I don't know if there's any way that I'll be able to know if it does turn out to be true. But I had this feeling that if Death Stranding 2 reviewed really well, which it did, it's sitting at a 90 on Metacritic based on 98 reviews, so almost 100 reviews. It's sitting at a 90. I think it's at a 92 on OpenCritic. And I had this theory that if this game got like a 90 or higher in that area, I think it would convince a lot of people who are kind of on the fence about this game to actually dive in and give it a shot. Now, it is an unconventional game, but yeah, man, there's no denying that seeing it do this much better than the first game is wow. Yeah, Balsa's really chilling. Seeing it do this much better is phenomenal, man. I'm super happy for Death Stranding. I'm happy for Kojima and Kojima Productions because I think a lot of people it took them a while to come around on Death Stranding 1. And it's not a normal game. It's an unconventional game. And I think there were a lot of people, it just understandably, it took them time to be able to really see like what this game was doing and how it starts to click. And I was really hopeful with Death Stranding 2 that there would be like major refinement and a lot of improvements made based on the feedback from the first game. And, based off the reviews, based off of what we're hearing, it sounds like that's exactly what happened, dude. And I'm very, very happy for this. And my God, bro, Silent Spartan again. Again, this man comes in and drops 50 more memberships. This is like, he's like doing daily 50 bombs, bro.
Holy shit.
Silent Spartan, my lord, bro. He is just coming in and just wrecking with the membership bombs. Holy shit, indeed. Yo, Silent Spartan's hyped for Death Stranding 2. Joe Mac says, did I get one? Well, they're still being doled out, Joe Mac. Silent Spartan comes in and shows incredible support once again for the community. He is just popping off, man. Haven't bought the mic yet. No, we're still building up to it. I think I forgot to update the goal, but we should hopefully be able to get it within the next month or two. That's the goal. That's what I'm striving for anyway. But, bro, just like that, 2 goals crushed. We usually, I mean, it's not common, but we go up to like 4 goals, which would total to about 100 memberships. Usually we just try to stick to 25, sometimes 50. But the way you guys have been supporting the channel recently, Silent Spartan, bro, I don't even know what to say, man. That's like your 4th day in a row dropping 50 memberships on the community. And once again, I will use this opportunity to remind everybody, or let you know if you're new, that we do have members-only content. We did a members lounge, 2.5 hours. It's basically like an extra bonus podcast for members where we talk about a bunch of different stuff. If you get a membership, go check that out. We recently did a Days Gone Platinum playthrough. Not an entire playthrough, but kind of cleaning up and getting that platinum. You go check that out as well if you're interested in gameplay content. And once again, just want to thank you guys so much for the just phenomenal support. We're already at 61 members on the day, bro, and we didn't even get to go over any of the reviews for Death Stranding 2 yet. So thank you guys so much for that. Really just shocking how generous of a community we have here. So good shit, guys. Good shit. Oh, one last thing I'll say before we continue is if you are new here, click the member icons at the top. Click that 50 bomb or the 10 and make sure you opt in to receive a membership gift. You have a chance to receive one anyway. So Silent Spartan, I got to give you one more, bro. Hold on, let me see if I can find the right one. Oh, here we go. Boss is hype. We have Chris Brown with a super chat, and he says, might watch Death Stranding 1 recap so I can play Death Stranding 2. Thoughts? I think it would be worth doing. Yeah, I think it will be. I think it will be somewhat difficult to go into Death Stranding 2 completely blind because it's a very story-driven game, From what I understand, now I haven't played Death Stranding 2 yet, of course, but from what I understand, it will kind of try to catch you up and give you some kind of recap, or at least there's an option to do so, I think, in the menu or something along those lines. But the official PlayStation YouTube channel did release I think it's like 6.5 minute long recap, and it's tough because it's such a crazy game in terms of the story and what it does that even that 6.5 minute recap, I don't think really did it justice. So if you're considering it, Chris, you probably want to find something that's a little bit more in-depth and extensive. And Digital Dude 25 with another $2 super chat with too many bulging eyes to count. It looks cursed on my screen, bro. Digital Dude, thank you for the super chat, man. Digital Dude's like, yo, I'm going to have to do a second 50 bomb by dropping individual member gifts again. Yeah, guys, by the way, if you haven't, take a moment, hit that like button. It really helps the streams more than you know. So, yeah, a lot of people are thinking that. A lot of people are thinking that at some point you're going to play as a different character in this game, but I could see it, but I don't think it's going to be something like you play the whole game or something like that. I don't think it's going to be like a Metal Gear Solid 2 situation. And we don't know if that's true or not. That's just something that some people have been speculating. Oh, and I forgot to also mention, this is worth bringing up for anybody who wasn't in the stream yesterday. I want to give a second shout out to Silent Spartan because he dropped a really generous super chat yesterday too. So that way I would be able to get the digital deluxe version of Death Stranding 2 on top of the physical version because he knows I like to collect my physical games. So that way I can be there as soon as it launches, which I'm incredibly grateful for. Uh, I'm actually really glad that happened because seeing these reviews and seeing the way this game is being talked about, it was going to be really, really, really hard. Even though it's just 2 days, it was going to be really hard to resist that and not want to partake. The FOMO is real, bro. So thank you again for that, man. Digital Foundry's analysis, PS5 Pro performance looks as good as quality, but at 60 FPS. I saw that. Yeah, I didn't watch the entire Digital Foundry video, but I did want to see the comparison of the base PS5 to the PS5 Pro, and it did not disappoint. Obviously, I wasn't expecting it to disappoint, but it really, it seems like Kojima Productions took, I don't know if I could say full advantage, but as much advantage, as much as they could extract from the PS5 Pro, they did what they could. And from what I could tell, there's a huge, I don't know if I want to use the term huge because it does look really good on base PS5. There's a significant difference in visual clarity with the base PS5 and the PS5 Pro. And even just watching it kind of compressed on, the Digital Foundry comparison, I could clearly see it. And once again, it's a Decima engine doing what it does. I think they labeled it as one of the best looking games graphically we've gotten all generation. And I can't say I'm surprised. Kojima's always been known with every game he does to really kind of push the limits graphically. And, he proved that, I think, that he knows what he's doing with the Decima engine, him and his team with Death Stranding when it came out at the end of the PS4 generation. It was like just one of the best looking games. And so here we are with the PS5 and PS5 Pro, and it is looking glorious, man. It's looking really good. But Garrett, what's going on, man? I want to check this poll. Let's see. It's looking okay, so interesting. 34% of you are saying that you're getting the game physically. Love to see that. 30% saying digital or digital deluxe. 21% saying no, and 15% are still unsure. So I'm curious before so apparently no ray tracing, Leo. Yeah, which some people are actually cheering on, surprisingly. A lot of people feel as though them foregoing ray tracing in favor of just like a clear image, just a crisper, cleaner image. I have noticed some people are kind of cheering Kojima Productions on for making that decision. And I'm cool with either. Whatever they want to do. I mean, from what I could tell, the game looks really, really good. Really good. Sean, you're double dipping. Oh, you got the collector's edition coming tomorrow. Nice, dude. Nice. Okay. Hold on. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So it's now sitting at 101 reviews and still holding on to a 90. So I don't know how many more reviews are going to be rolling in, but for a little bit there, it was sitting at a 91, and then it went down to like an 88, then it went up to an 89, and now it seems to have settled on a 90. There are 97 total, 101 total reviews. 97 of those reviews, or 96%, are positive. 4 of those reviews, which accounts for 4%, are mixed. So what I like to do when we go over this is read just not the full reviews because I don't want that much. I just want like the gist of it basically. Read a couple of the higher reviews that are giving it a 10 out of 10 and then go to the lower ones and then find a couple in the middle. The haters couldn't even bring the game down. Garrett says the haters can't bring it down. Don't read GameSpot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. Don't tell me. Don't tell me I'm going to have to go ballistic on GameSpot again. Now I'm going to go check. Now I got to go see. What did GameSpot do this time? Unless you mean like they spoiled something. Okay, they gave it a 7 out of 10 for GameSpot. GameSpot says giving Death Stranding 2 a 7 out of 10. The first Death Stranding was eerily prescient. Releasing in 2019, it was impossible to divorce it from the COVID-19 pandemic that followed a year later. The parallels between preppers living in bunkers and people struggling to find ways to connect with others reflecting a period of quarantine and uncertainty about the future. By contrast, Death Stranding 2 is less precise and clear about what it wants to say. It seems committed to making you ponder many things at once, inviting different takeaways. Its story touches on topics like the increasing harms of climate change, how our everyday actions are being automated with each passing day, the damaging presence of guns and clash between governments and privately owned entities, and the importance of helping others in any way we can. If the sequel is prescient of anything, it is that fixation on the past binds us to repeat history no matter how much we try to pretend otherwise. Okay, I guess. I mean, it's a tough synopsis there, or like just I guess I could say, because I have no idea. I mean, I have no idea why it would warrant a. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on, my chat. That's not the bad part. Garrett, tell me what's the bad part. I don't know what's going on with my chat here. It's like glitching out. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second while I try to figure out what's going on here. I mean, at the end of the day, these reviews are just opinions from individuals. But let me see. We have Dexerto gave it a 10 out of 10, saying Death Stranding 2 is a phenomenal offering. It's among Kojima's very best work, not just for its narrative, but for the near limitless variability in its gameplay opportunities. Wow. So Dexerto's saying that it has a great narrative, but they're saying near limitless variability for its gameplay opportunities. Interesting. IGN Brazil gave it a 10 out of 10, saying more dynamic and intense. Death Stranding 2 on the beach dodges the judgments of tediousness that the first game received. The gameplay plays it on the safe side with high doses of Metal Gear for more action and fun. As for the narrative, the plot is sublime with its criticism of large corporations, social networks, and AIs, but it is also extremely emotional when talking about family, friendship, love, and depression. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. So far, whatever IGN Brazil just said about this game is what's making me excited, because it sounds like everything I want it to be. GameSpot had a problem with Kojima's portrayal of women. Oh, geez. Oh, man. Here we go. Joe, luckily I'm going to be able to get both. Yeah. GameSpot doesn't like the way Kojima's portraying women. You hate the culture war talk, but I had to point out that nonsense. I guess I'm just curious what it is. I feel like in the past, Kojima's gotten maybe some criticism for, like the way women would look, I guess, in his games. But why do I have this feeling it's something really stupid, man? Am I going to be playing it tonight? Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Is that when I think it unlocks at 9? You ordered the physical. You're glad viewers encouraged me to keep playing Death Stranding 1. That's good to hear, Joe. Yeah. GameSpot gave Death Stranding 1 a 9. Was it the same reviewer? Probably different reviewers, if I had to guess. You can't give credence to someone's opinion about a video game when they make their main criticism about something that's not related to the core function of a game. Bro, do not tell me it's because of photo mode. No. Yeah, Josh, I'm not sure if it's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Let me go check. Hold on. Let me go check GameSpot's review. I'm definitely not. Okay, yeah. This goes pretty in depth. I don't want to spoil anything. It's a really long review. Goddamn. Sorry, I don't mean for so much dead air. I'm trying to find where they talk about this. Okay. Okay, this is from well, hold on. We have Sean Mitchell, member for 26 months. He says, I woke up today and as soon as the embargo was lifted, all I could do was smile, man. The IP is finally getting the credit it deserved back in 2019. I know, man. I know. I was following the reviews all morning and just kind of I really, to be honest, I wanted to see this game hit a 90, and I hope it stays at a 90 because I do feel like, yeah, this is kind of that moment of recognition. Like, I'm not saying Death Stranding 1 was a perfect game. I'm not even going to say it was like a 10 out of 10 because I don't think it's necessary, but I think it was a really, really, really good game. And I do think it was a game that some people were a little bit too harsh on because they, they just kind of write it off as, oh, it's just a boring delivery game or delivery simulator. It's like it's definitely a lot more than that. Doesn't mean that there weren't areas that could have used improvement or refinement. There absolutely were, and as we see, it has helped dramatically. I mean, for me, what I would say I didn't like about Death Stranding 1, or like what I would consider a con, is I am in agreement in that any of the action that's in the game, it's really, really surface level. Like it feels like most of the mechanical refinement of the game went into the delivery and the movement and the building mechanics, which is great, and that's what made the game so fun. But any area of the game where you could engage with in a more action based way, it felt kind of overly simplified. And it does seem like in this game it's still pretty simple overall, but that they made enough changes to make it feel more rewarding, I guess you could say, and engaging if you want to take a more action oriented approach. But for me, that con was not something like major. Like, oh man, I can't even enjoy this game because of it or something like that. Ray, you're saying with the $2 super chat, GameSpot can go fellatio a big bag of elephant dongs. Wow, my God. Ray is extremely upset. Ray, I never hear you talk like this, bro. What did bro just make me read? You love launching packages off mules' faces. I mean, the only other negative I really can point out for Death Stranding that, you know, it was there for me, certainly, was it took me a little while to get a feel for the game. So, like, for the first 8 to 10 hours or so, it was an adjustment period, you know, and it was rough. And I think that's, you know, that's how a lot of people experience that game. But yeah, once you started to get a feel for it, once it started clicking, you realize, oh my God, like this is becoming addicting. And the thing is, I haven't played Death Stranding since like launch. I haven't played it since like 2019 or early 2020. So I don't know how I'm going to feel going into the sequel if I'm going to need that adjustment period again. But we had this review from GameSpot, and I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this section. So GameSpot gave Death Stranding 2 a 7 out of 10. It says, this obsession with honoring past legacy also carries the baggage of some of the series' worst tropes, particularly around the portrayal of women, which the first game was also guilty of. While I cannot speak with authority about some of the sequel's plot lines, including one involving a phenomenon around childbirth, some scenes cause an exhausting deja vu. There's an unskippable photography minigame featuring 3 women posing in front of the camera, as well as a central character who often takes her shoes off. Bro got triggered because of the feet. Sorry, hold on. As well as a central character who often takes her shoes off as crew members make a running commentary about this habit. The camera pans during cutscenes aren't as excessive as, say, the treatment around Quiet in MGS5, The Phantom Pain, but it all feels unnecessary. And since you're witnessing photorealistic depictions of real-life actors, it can slip into being a little bit weird. Like, this is a real criticism, bro. Dude, I gotta say, I was not expecting there to be a genuine criticism for Death Stranding 2 when we were, Feetgate 2025, bro. Over the feet. So the reviewer is a virgin. He thinks it's pervy. I mean, I'll judge for, I'll be the judge of that. I'll have to judge for myself. But that's kind of, I don't know, man. That Kojima's always been a little bit pervy, but it's always gone both ways. Like, does anybody remember in MGS3 when Volgin was like, I need to feel, I need to grab Snake's crotch and make sure, you know, I gotta feel his whatever, right? Because he suspected that you're not Rykov. If you haven't played the game, what I'm saying probably sounds insane, but if you play the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's always been that way. These people need to just grow up, man. Like, is this not a rated M game? God damn. I don't like that he made me take photos of 3 women posing. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't like that one of the female characters kept taking her shoes off or going barefoot. Get laid, will you? That's crazy. And we have PlayStation Triangle button coming in with another super chat saying, "Hi, I've been trying not to follow social media these last 3 days because it's starting to get dangerously spoilery. For me, I support a physical copy. Well, I love to hear that. We need more people supporting physical games. I'm still getting a physical copy. And yeah, you got to be careful out there because it is starting to get a little bit spoilery. I didn't want to read the entirety of GameSpot's review here because honestly, like as I was scrolling through it, it seems like they're, I mean, I don't know, they're just talking a lot about a lot of different things. So let's go over the good and the bad from GameSpot's 7 out of 10 review. The good, revisiting the world of Death Stranding is exciting. Photorealistic visuals are stunning even on a base PS5. Core gameplay is still unique. The bad, now there are more bad points than good points. Repetitive story beats that are too close to the first game. Focus on weapons and spectacle detracts from uniqueness. What? Did he just list having different weapons as a negative? Focus on weapons and spectacle distracts from uniqueness. What the fuck does that even mean? Friction is lost, rendering some challenges superficial. Questionable tropes around women. Every single time, there's always that one reviewer that's just like, every time, man. I didn't think that was actually a bullet point negative. I thought it was just something that was being brought up in the article or the review of like, yeah, this weirded me out a little bit. I didn't think it was something like, oh no, when I list the bullet points of the good and the bad, that's going to be under the bad. Boss fights are unimaginative. What? Well, that last one's a surprise. We'll have to see about that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Fuck GameSpot. Straight up. GameSpot, it has to be like the worst. I mean, I know IGN's pretty bad, but I think GameSpot has to be the worst. And I'm not saying that because of this review. I'm just saying because like there have been so many times I've went to GameSpot where like they have some of the most brain dead reviewers where it's like, I can't even believe these are some like points you're giving for negativity. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The unimaginative boss fights, though, that's kind of surprising. I'm going to be honest. That gets me even more interested because it's like, what do you consider unimaginative? This is Kojima, bro. Not trying to give the guy more credit than he deserves, but he's been pretty, he's been pretty good over the years about coming up with some interesting boss fights. I know, Tarnished. I'm trying not to. I know. I'm trying not to do that thing. I understand that this is just one person's opinion, but I'm sorry, man. Like, at what point does it veer into just dumbass territory when I'm looking over the list of pros and cons about, okay, why did you give this game a 7 out of 10? What warrants a 7 out of 10? And one of the negatives is, I don't like the way he portrayed women. Like, fuck? Like, what are you talking about? And then when you look deeper into it, it's like, yeah, one character kept taking her shoes off. Like, fuck off, you know? This isn't even my game and I'm annoyed. We draw the line at GameSpot. But they are literally clothed taking pictures. Free the feet. Well, I'm glad you agree, Tarnished. Let's see. So yeah, sorry to start off with like a more negative centered review, but Critical Hits gives it a 10 out of 10. And they say Death Stranding 2 on the beach fixes all of the issues of the original and takes the experience to a whole new level. The game is flawless in everything it sets out to do and stands as one of the best video game experiences in recent years. If you enjoyed the first game, there's a high chance that you're going to fall in love with this one, as it is undoubtedly one of the greatest games of this entire generation. God damn. And no complaints about the portrayal of women. Wow. We have let's see. Push Square. I mean, they are a PlayStation centered website, but I go to them pretty frequently. They gave it a 10 out of 10, and they said, in what will prove to be one of the defining games of the PS5 generation, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is a profound achievement of design, gameplay, narrative, and visuals. As all four meet in the middle, Kojima Productions has crafted a cinematic spectacle that flawlessly transitions between action and traversal, all wrapped up in the most absorbing of narratives. An immense upgrade on the first game, Death Stranding 2 is an unequivocal masterpiece. Oh, goddamn, dude. Yeah, I gotta say, reading these some of these reviews is getting me more excited. Keep the glaze coming. Whoa, Garrett. Whoa. Screen Rant also gives it a 10 out of 10, and they simply say Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is emotional and fascinating from the outset. Tech Radar Gaming gives it a 10 out of 10. They say Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is a great example of a sequel that expands on the original without losing sight of it. The traversal is still the star of the show, while the action has been significantly improved without taking over the experience. While a conventional plot takes a back seat for a more character-driven story, the new cast of characters and a phenomenal final third act stick the landing with prime Hideo Kojima bombast. Kojima. VGC gives it a 10 out of 10. And they say Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is an all-time great sequel and one of Hideo Kojima's best games. With a stunning world, greatly expanded gameplay and player choice, and one of Kojima's most compelling casts and narratives, it significantly improves on the original in virtually every way. Voxel gives it a 10 out of 10, saying Death Stranding 2 on the Beach delivers on its promise, featuring a star-studded cast worthy of Hollywood. Its story surprises with the boldness of its themes, accompanied by fun and refined gameplay. It's an essential recommendation, not just for Kojima fans, but for anybody who loves video games. Washington Post gives it a 10 out of 10, saying, while I'm playing Death Stranding 2, I realize I'm witnessing Kojima and his studio, Kojima Productions, at the peak of their powers. Gaming Bolt, another 10 out of 10. My God, a lot of 10 out of 10s. Gaming Bolt says Death Stranding 2 delivers stunning visuals, refined stealth-focused gameplay, and a richly detailed world brought to life by excellent audio and a memorable cast. It meaningfully evolves the original's mechanics, though its unique style will still divide some fans. Gaming Nexus, another 10 out of 10. They say Hideo Kojima once again proves to be a singular creative force in the video games industry, crafting a sequel in Death Stranding 2 on the Beach that is not just essential for fans of the first game, but an essential experience for all gamers. The Guardian, another 10 out of 10, saying, of the many things Death Stranding 2 is trying to say, the message that comes to the fore is you are never truly alone. Global disasters, big tech, even death itself. These things might abstract the way we connect to one another, but they can't sever the connection altogether. Not bad for a game about delivering boxes. It all comes back down to the cardboard box, bro. Let's see. Comicbook.com, another 10 out of 10, saying, although Hideo Kojima wants to make games that are somewhat divisive, I find Death Stranding 2 to be one of his most refined and enjoyable works to date. I feel confident that this will be recognized as one of PS5's defining masterpieces. IGN Spain also gives it a 10 out of 10. They say Death Stranding 2 is a sequel that improves on its predecessor in every way, with sublime technical aspects, smooth and fun gameplay, and an emotional story centered on its characters. DS2 is a fascinating experience, whether you like the first game or not. And let's scroll through more of the 10 out of 10s. A lot of 9.5s, 92s. Let's see. Luna's actually chasing her tail, bro. Okay. We have IGN giving it a 9 out of 10. They say the original Death Stranding held promise, a complex, often confusing, but never contrived first draft, a reflective journey across a lost America. It established a world and its rules with a flourish, even if I found it stumbled along the path. But in Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Australia plays host to an expanded vision and is a more accomplished achievement in nearly every facet. It removes almost all of the friction that weighed down its rookie effort, delighting with a truly unpredictable story full of intrigue and malleable stealth action playgrounds hidden in its vast, hauntingly beautiful version of Australia. Yes, at times it is unapologetically weird, but that isn't what defines it. It's an inventive journey packed full of both shock and awe, the sort of bold work that deserves to be encouraged. No, it isn't perfect, but it's incredibly exciting and original, never once straying from the path less trodden. And I love it all the more for it. It's just the camera's in the way of some of the text there, and I can't move it. So IGN giving it a 9 out of 10. Let's go find. All right, so those were all like 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. We have an 8 out of 10 here from Games Radar Plus. They say Death Stranding 2 on the beach builds on the foundations of the original, but adds whole new wings with a different vibe. The Tarpunk delivery epic is more Metal Gear Solid than ever, for better and worse. But it well serves series fans like me. Charmingly bizarre with its world building and spectacle, there's still a real sense of community as you bring the world online with other players by your side. Eurogamer also gives it an 8 out of 10, and they say a busier, louder, and more emotionally resplendent take on this singular hiking sim. VG247 gives it an 8 out of 10. They say ultimately playing through Death Stranding 2 was an emotional and utterly enjoyable experience, full of thrills and impossible to put down during its bigger moments. My only negative feeling towards it is it also unfortunately a big one, that I wish Kojima Productions went further in evolving this sequel from the original. When the story goes to such an extent to explore new grounds, it's kind of a shame that the gameplay feels the need to play it safe. All right, let's go all the way down to the lowest review. So there are two outlets that gave it a 6 out of 10, by the way, which is kind of surprising. Let's see. So we got IGN France giving it a 6 out of 10, saying, and that's lower than GameSpot, saying Death Stranding 2 is not a bad game. It's a beautiful game, but it disappoints precisely where the first one was astonishing. By leveling out the difficulty, rendering the journey anodyne, watering down what made the original game a tough, unforgettable experience. Here, Kojima seems to have given in to the temptation of comfort and past criticism, delivering a game that is more accessible but less meaningful, far from extending his vision. On the beach seems to mark his running out of steam. That's a very bizarre. So like, is he saying it's a 6 out of 10 because it's not hard enough? Like, I don't understand. But I'm confused by that, only because Death Stranding 1 was not that difficult. Like, there was a level of challenge in the sense that you have to figure out like how to balance your character and how to, like there's a level of challenge there, but it's not like I guess what I'm trying to say here is when I think of Death Stranding 1, I don't think of difficulty or challenge. I think of, well, I don't know. I just think of like, running into certain pitfalls. And if I'm not paying close enough attention, like I'll slip on a rock and lose all my packages or something, or if I'm like reckless around the BTs, they'll wreck my shit, So it's not like difficult. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, this person's making it sound like it's like Kojima like dumbed it down and made it like, you know, my first package delivery simulator or something. I don't know. Baby's first package delivery simulator. All right, so IGN France gives it a 6 out of 10. Yikes. We have Restart.Run. Never heard of this outlet before, but they also gave it a 6 out of 10. And they say Death Stranding 2 is a game that pulls from the same playbook as the original, one that wants you to know it was made by the creator of Metal Gear Solid and doesn't use its 55-hour runtime to pull in the threads that are interesting about the world. Instead, it focuses on combat, and retreading similar ground gets tiring fast. There are moments of something special here, but they can't shine past their own shadows. What? So they're saying it's too much like Metal Gear, and now it has too much combat? Like, this is what I mean, man. You can just never win. Like, the first game gets dragged by certain outlets because it's like, oh, there's no combat. It's just a walk, too much walking and delivery and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm seeing an outlet give it a 6 out of 10 because they're like, there's too much focus on combat. Like, I don't know, man. I just, when I read some of these lower reviews, I just don't understand. I know they're just opinions, but I just don't understand where they're coming from. Like, IGN France says 6 out of 10 because it's not hard enough. Okay. And then Restart.Run says 6 out of 10, too much combat. Like, what the fuck? Like I guess I'm just expecting that if you're going to give it a 6 out of 10, like, there's got to be something deeper there. Like, something more flawed, than too much combat, or it's not difficult enough. Too much water, IGN. I mean, I don't know. I gotta say, though, GameSpot's review is so far the worst. Like, I'm actually more forgiving of an outlet claiming that has too much combat and they didn't like it, or saying it's too easy. I'm more forgiving of that than GameSpot docking points because of the portrayal of women. GameSpot so far has the biggest L. And the last 7 out of 10 here comes from Metro Game Central. They say, a surprisingly iterative sequel that's nonetheless superior to its predecessor, and despite some dull moments and an incoherent narrative, this is still the best Metal Gear game in a decade. I mean, that's the way they just described that. That sounds like better than a 7 out of 10. An incoherent narrative. I expect there to be some level of incoherence, certainly. Well, there we go, man. It's sounding really, really good. Again, it's putting some of those negative reviews aside. This game is mostly 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, and is currently sitting at a 90 on Metacritic based on 101 reviews. And man, I feel like if you're somebody who was a fan of Death Stranding 1 and you were hoping for something more with Death Stranding 2, I feel like it doesn't really get much better than that. And we have Josh Z, a member for 62 months. Long-time member, bro. Thank you so much. You're saying, I realize that Expedition 33 story does everything that The Last of Us 2 story thinks it's doing, but does it while respecting your attachment. It's also perfectly structured. It says everything The Last of Us 2 is trying to say, but sucked at saying. Game of the year, definitely. Yo, Josh Z coming in, dropping the hammer. Dropping the golf club on The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, no, I mean, that's a really interesting take, Josh. I will say that thinking about it a little bit more, I think you're right about what Expedition 33 is trying to say in its story ultimately. I think is actually very similar to what The Last of Us Part 2 is trying to say. I think there are some differences ultimately, but I mean, yeah, dude, it feels like a tough comparison, Josh, because I feel like the whole point of what Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us Part 2 is like they want you to feel like shit. Like, just like they don't want you to feel good. You're not supposed to feel good at any level. And I feel like when playing Expedition 33, it felt like I guess maybe a better way to describe it is The Last of Us 2 story is trying to depict a harsh reality in the harshest way possible, right? No sugarcoating to like almost like a reprehensible degree. To whereas Expedition 33 is trying to make a commentary on life and on the reality of life and loss, but is handling it very delicately and handling it with care. So as not necessarily to sugarcoat it, but to add a certain depth that goes beyond just raw like anger, you know? And I appreciate it for that. Expedition 33 was a shockingly deep game in terms of the story and the narrative and what it was presenting and trying to say. I loved it. Yeah, I think that they did a great job, man. And we have PlayStation Pete with the $2 super chat saying, I only need 3 more trophies for Rebirth. He's doing it. Guys, he's doing it. PlayStation Pete is going the distance. He only needs 3 more. Josh knows about that. Josh, PlayStation Pete's about to join you in the greatness that is Rebirth Platinum. And we also have It's Lance Michael with a $2 super chat saying, do you think it's beating Expedition 33 for Game of the Year? I'm not sure. I think it's safe to say that Death Stranding 2 is automatically a Game of the Year contender. I think for a lot of people, Expedition 33 is still Game of the Year. I can't say for myself yet. Right now, Expedition 33 is my Game of the Year. I won't know if Death Stranding 2 takes it over until I complete it. I'm going to be paying attention to the emotionality of it because I have a feeling from a gameplay perspective, I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, I'm actually really intrigued by just how much action and combat there is in this game because some of these reviews are making it sound like there's way more combat in this game compared to the original. But many of the reviews talk about the story of Death Stranding 2 being extremely emotional, very intense, very deep. And, you know, I would expect nothing less from a Kojima game. I mean, it's the emotional attachment that I have to the Metal Gear Solid games, which is why I hold Kojima Productions and Hideo Kojima and his team in such high regard. And same thing can be said for Death Stranding 1. You know, Death Stranding 1 hit some high emotional beats, certainly. And I'm curious to see if 2 can do that because that's the thing with Expedition 33 is from a gameplay perspective, Expedition 33 utterly shocked me, but the story, the characters, and the narrative were just so rich and so deep and so thoughtful and hit me like a lot harder than I didn't even know what I was walking into. You know what I mean? So it's going to take a lot, truthfully, at least for me personally, for Death Stranding 2 to overtake Expedition 33 for Game of the Year because Expedition 33 really is a kind of, it's not often you just run into a game where you're like, holy shit. Like I didn't even, I had no idea. I had no idea. With Death Stranding 2, I feel like I do have an idea before going in. But it's going to be, it's really just going to come down to the execution of that idea and how it lands with me. In terms of like actually winning like Game of the Year at the end of the year at the Game Awards, I don't know. I feel like, truthfully, I think Expedition 33 is still going to have an edge just for the simple fact that like it's the underdog. You know, I mean, Kojima winning a Game of the Year award, I'm not saying it's expected, but it's not like shocking either. It's not surprising. It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you know, the new Kojima game won Game of the Year. Of course, it just doesn't sound that surprising. To whereas when you consider Expedition 33, I feel like that again, it has that kind of underdog mentality behind it and feeling that this is not a game that should be in running for Game of the Year. Like that's not how this is supposed to work, and yet it is. It's a first, you know, it's a brand new IP from first time studio, and I think because of that, it's going to have the edge. Where I think a lot of the voters who decide on Game of the Year, I think they're gonna lean towards Expedition 33 because of that. And it's actually really interesting. You know, we could see the end of this year, the showdown being between legendary, longtime game developer Hideo Kojima, you know, a veteran game developer Hideo Kojima squared up against first time studio, you know, new team, new developers. For Game of the Year. That'll be a hell of a showdown if that's how it goes at the end of the year. But yeah, man, I have no doubt that Death Stranding 2 is going to be a Game of the Year contender. Ghost of Yotei is yet to come out, but Yotei is going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on as well. Ghost of Tsushima, I remember, was up for, I don't remember if Ghost of Tsushima was nominated for Game of the Year, but I do remember it won the player choice for Game of the Year. Which was a lot of people just purposely trying to spite The Last of Us Part 2. It was up for Game of the Year? Okay. Yeah, so I have no doubt that Ghost of Yotei will probably be a Game of the Year contender as well. Because everything we're seeing about that game looks amazing. And it looks, Ghost of Yotei in the sense is like, seems like it's going to do exactly what Death Stranding 2 is doing, where it's like refining and improving upon something that was already very, very good and had a really, really solid foundation. She has a gun. Yeah, what The Last of Us Part 2 won like every award. I think, yeah, it almost kind of starts to look like which game's going to turn out better. Not better, but like which game's going to score higher. Death Stranding's at a 90. Is Ghost of Yotei going to hit a 90 or higher? I don't know, man. Yeah. All right, hold on. Check something. Wow. Hold on. I want to see if I can. I wonder if. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. That's crazy looking. I got to see if it'll let me bring this up. Shouldn't have reacted that way if it's not going to let me bring it up, though. Of course it's not. It's whatever. All right, let me head back here. You're 20 hours into Death Stranding 1. It's boring you to tears. Damn, dude. Sorry to hear that. No matter what, I think at the end of the day, for Death Stranding 1 and 2, it's not going to be for everybody. You're done with it? You think it looks cool, but you can't push yourself anymore? That's understandable, man. If you're not enjoying it, you're not enjoying it. You gave it, like, I can respect that. Absolutely. You gave it your best shot. You stuck with it. You said 30 hours or something like that. That's a long time, dude. So if after 30 hours you're still not feeling it, yeah, by that point you'll definitely know if a game's for you or not. Or 20 hours, yeah. I was gonna say, if you're at 30 hours, bro, you're almost there. GameSpot, are they serious? Questionable female tropes. What is this real? There's new details on Ghost 2. Where's it coming from? Did PlayStation post it? I'm not seeing anything. I mean, it feels like today would be a strange day for them to drop something, you know, for Ghost of Yotei, considering it's Death Stranding 2 review day. A reviewer questioning the female tropes of a Japanese developer. Well, I mean, look, I'm happy that Death Stranding 2 is sitting at a 90 on Metacritic. I feel like for a game, especially when you're talking about a game that's getting over 100 reviews, to achieve a 90 is really, really difficult. That's not an easy feat. No pun intended. It is always disappointing. It's never, and I'm not the developer. I'm not Kojima Productions, so I'm sure it probably impacts them pretty significantly. Like, they see this stuff too. To see a supposed professional video game reviewer give the game a 7 out of 10, and that's not a bad score. That's fine. 7 out of 10. That's not a bad game. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you dig deeper and you go to like see, okay, well, like, what's your reasoning for giving this video game a 7 out of 10? And one of the reasons, and it's always with GameSpot, dude. It's always with GameSpot. Just like they did with Days Gone. You guys know they had somebody reviewing that game that just had every problem on, you could think of with it that had nothing to do with the actual game itself. But one of the reasons they give Death Stranding 2 a 7 out of 10, which GameSpot, if I'm not mistaken, weighs very heavily in Metacritic. Yeah, I don't like some of the female tropes. I don't like that you have to take photos of them posing in the photo mode. And that one character is constantly barefoot. Like, I'm sorry, but your fucking review should be disqualified, because that, like, what the hell even is that? Like, I'm just saying, man, like, that's probably the difference between a 90 or a 93 on Metacritic, and like 3 points are going to be docked in the weighted Metacritic because some dude got uncomfortable about a woman, being barefoot and then making like jokes. It's like, to me, it's shit like that where it's like, bro, what is going on here? They hate women being happy. Is the reviewer anti-feet? They don't like women. I mean, it's weird, bro. It's really weird. Yeah, how, who is this person that believes he gets to speak on behalf of all women? Who is this person? Diego. Nicholas Argello? I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. And he has a fucking pink mop on his head. Okay. Holy shit. Well, never mind. That says it all. Figured it out. Oh, man. I'm done. You know, at first I was like, it's going to be a female reviewer, right? It's all good. It's all good, man. I thought wokeness was dead. I don't like the way MBG represents MBG for all of us. Oh, it's hard not to laugh, man. Like, Death Stranding still wins 90 out of 100 on Metacritic, but oh man, I knew that. Listen, I knew there was going to be something. I'm like, it's a big AAA game. It's a new Kojima game. There's going to be something. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be, and what's the reason? And this has to be. Oh man, this has to. Notice how I'm not upset with the 6 out of 10 reviews. Notice how I'm not upset with them because it's just some dude being like, I don't like there being too much combat. It's like, all right, I mean, to me that's a weird nitpick, but I get it. If you were like, bro, I just want to deliver packages the whole time, and you found out that like there's actually more combat sequences, I could kind of understand why you wouldn't like it. But god damn, this shit's got to stop. This shit's got to stop. It's like hurting reviews for real. You're saying I'm so tired, it's not even cool, just plain stupid. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm at least grateful that this is an opinion that seemingly is out there in the territory of stupid. And because of that, it kind of exists in isolation. It would have been really annoying if there were like multiple review outlets saying something like this and being nonsensical about it. Luckily, it seems to just be one. And what's interesting is I think there are some other review outlets that haven't. Let me see. I think there's a few that haven't actually put their reviews up yet. Oh, and for a comparison, by the way, the original Death Stranding reviewed at an 82. An 82 based off of 111 reviews. So Death Stranding 2 is still sitting at a 90 at 102 critic reviews. And I'm trying to see who's left to put their review out. Kotaku. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, man. Kotaku has yet to put their review out. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Is it like a review in progress? It says to be determined, but it says Kotaku says, I'm not sure I want to go through another chapter in Death Stranding's convoluted, messy, and often contradictory universe, especially if the game's ending is as unsatisfying as Death Stranding 2's finale. Wait, what? That didn't make any sense. The Verge has yet to put their review out. Well, I don't know. I don't know if these are just unscored reviews. That might be what it is. I think they're unscored reviews. My bad. It's not that their reviews aren't out yet. Okay. This isn't. Ultimately, Death Stranding 2 is a good video game. Okay. Well, I think it's going to hold on to that 90. And I hope it does. I think the game deserves it. I haven't watched any YouTuber reviews or anything like that. I'm trying not to. I just wanted to go over the Metacritic and read some of the, the review points there, but I want to save the experience for myself. MBG, I think you're like me in some way. I sense that you care about what other people think or feel, right? I'm like that. I can't help myself. Yeah, I mean, I I say that I don't care, but then I clearly demonstrate that I do care. And maybe that's just the nature of me, spending so much time streaming. Um, if I wasn't streaming and then I wasn't, as deeply involved, maybe well, it's not even a maybe. I'm sure it would be 10 times easier to not give a shit at all because it just wouldn't encounter half the stuff I encounter. But but yeah, man. I mean, it's just I told you guys I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop using Twitter, and like I just said, oh well, I kind of want to partake in everything going on with Death Stranding 2 on Twitter, and I couldn't help it. Like I had to put out a post, and I had to put out a post, um, where like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I haven't had to deal with like people just losing their shit. If not like not even losing their shit, but people just constantly harassing PlayStation players. Like anybody who's here on my channel or me in general. And it's just, yeah, like today, it's I'm not trying to take a victory lap, but it's like, hey, like to all the dumbasses, because God knows, believe me, I know because I have had to deal with it. Not just certainly not just on Twitter, but on my own channel, anywhere, right? Anywhere. All the dumbasses that want to sit there and constantly make it sound like that there's nothing going on with PlayStation. That if you are a PlayStation player and you are happy or excited about what's going on, you're part of the problem. And just, saying the dumbest shit at all times. A day like this is just, it gets shut down. And, I had to put that out there where I'm just simply stating a fact. That's all I'm doing. I'm just stating a fact that, hey, man, if you're a PS5 player, seems like an absolute banger is about to drop. And I'm stoked for it. I've been stoked for it for a long time. But you still see the same people. And you realize that it's never going to change, dude. And it's cool. I guess I expected that. But they come up with the same exact excuses. Like, oh, it's not owned by Sony. Like, okay. And does that mean Sony didn't fund it? I don't know, man. I guess I'm just trying to say, like, I'm tired of people going as far as they possibly can out of their way to make sure that they don't give any credit where it's due. Credit first and foremost goes to Kojima Productions. Then after that, it goes to probably Herman Hulst, and then Sony as a whole. And then after that, probably the fan base for supporting it. Oh yeah, you could extend that to Guerrilla Games for giving them the Death Mention, but there's a lot of credit to be given. And I'm just tired of people like when Sony has an L, and I'm not trying to defend Sony like the corporation. It's just like, dude, it's about acknowledging the good, acknowledging the bad, taking the good with the bad and the bad with the good. This is all I'm an advocate for. Because yes, I do care about the overall health of the brand, and this is why. Because I want to continue to get games like this, because I know that Sony took a risk funding this game. Straight up. And that's the reality that none of these people want to talk about. They wanted to fucking run laps and laps and laps. LOL, Kojima's working with Xbox. Xbox got Kojima now. He's going to make an Xbox exclusive. Guess what? It's not going to be exclusive. Guess what? It seemingly doesn't even exist. In that time, we're going to be playing Death Stranding 2. And then he's moving on to Fizzin. Yeah, I'm going to give Sony a little bit of fucking credit for that, for seeking that out, for like acknowledging that, bro, we want to fund a game and we want you to make that game and make whatever game you want. no matter how weird it is. It's like the same shit like where last year Astrobot drops, fucking wins game of the year, and you get people out here where they want to come at me and come at you and come at PlayStation players where it's like, ain't shit, bro. Game's trash. And it's like, dude, I'm not going to sit here and try to like prop Astro up as the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if you're going to come at me and try to make it seem like it ain't nothing, yeah, now I'm going to tell you how good it really is. Because it fucking is. That's all. That's all, man. Like it's just the same shit. These are the people that want to act like South of Midnight is a fucking 10 out of 10 masterpiece. And then try to use that. You know what I mean? It's like, no offense to South of Midnight. Apparently that game was pretty decent. But these are people, they want to like latch on the games like that and make it seem like this is it, bro. This is it. And then when something like Death Stranding 2 drops, you're like, man, fucking garbage. I'll play that on my Xbox 2 years from now. Like, the fuck like, what are you talking about? But it's all a matter of the gaslighting, man. We're like, the whole idea is the people who are doing this, people who are running their mouths like this or, you know, trolling like this, they're never gonna, there is ultimately no winning because they're just going to sit there and be like, no, that's not true. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm getting depressed by the internet. No, I'm not depressed, bro. It's not that serious. The gaming community is cooked. But that's the amazing part about it, is it's just like, yes, today, on June 23rd, 2025, there is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, ouch, that reviewed at a 90 on Metacritic, ouch, and is going to be releasing on PS5 and PS5 Pro, ouch, and people are going to be enjoying that shit, and it's probably going to sell pretty well, now that it's, you know, people realize it's better than the first one, or at least based off the reviews anyway. Ouch. Yeah, I know. I know that this is a problem for the narrative. I get it. It hurts their narrative. Wait, no, that can't be. No, PlayStation doesn't have games. PlayStation only has remasters and remakes. PlayStation, no. PlayStation doesn't have Game Pass. They don't have games like Avowed coming, you know? No. PlayStation is supposed to be in a place that's just really, really low, you know? But days like today, the fucking reality is just, it's unavoidable that, bro, what PlayStation just dropped with Death Stranding 2 in conjunction with Kojima Productions is what Microsoft wished they fucking had. And that's just, like, I know that's, oh my God, what a fanboy statement. No, you know how I know it's true? Because what do you think they're fucking saying to me? I'll wait for when it's on Xbox. I'll wait for when it's on PC. I bet you will. I bet you fucking will, because it's a great game and you know you're going to want to play it. And you know what? That great game that you can't wait to play is going to be on PS5 this week. So you know what? It's okay for PlayStation players to be excited about that and look forward to it. And you know what? It's going to be great if it does drop on PC and Xbox later. Because you know what? What is it going to be, like a year later? You know? Something like that. Okay, cool. Enjoy it. But the fucking reality is, Sony paid to fund this game. They may not own the IP, but they funded the game, they published it. There's nothing wrong with them wanting to leverage that to try to sell some of their consoles. And there's also nothing wrong with people just acknowledging that, you know, this is some good shit. Nothing wrong with it. Just a couple of months ago, I don't even remember if it was a couple of months ago or if it was at the end of last year, but I felt like it was within the last 6 months or so. You found out that Death Stranding 1 suddenly shadow dropped on Xbox. $20. And I'm seeing the Xbox community going fucking nuts over it. Going absolutely nuts. Let me ask, you guys going to be coming out and buying a PS5 now to play the sequel because you love the first one so much? You going to be doing that? No? No, you're just going to wait? You don't know how long you're going to wait, but you're going to wait. Could be another 5 years for all you know. But you're going to wait? Okay. But you still want to play it, right? Why? Why do you still want to play it? Because it's a good game? Oh, okay. And there we go. And there we go. That's all it boils down to, man, is that I'm not out here trying to say PlayStation's better or that Death Stranding is better necessarily. I'm just out here simply trying to remind people, not even remind them, but to put certain people in their place where it's like, yeah, you over there, like busting people's balls, right? Screeching, Sony ain't got no games, Death Stranding's a walking simulator. Sit down and shut the fuck up. While everybody else enjoys the greatness. You know? How about that? But they won't. They'll just get even more obnoxious. But yeah, man, I can't wait. I mean, shit, man. If it was out right now, I wouldn't even be streaming. Truthfully, I'd be sitting there playing it, but still gotta wait a little bit longer. You recommend not to observe the YouTuber review / critique landscape around Death Stranding 2, full of clickbait and rage bait. I can't believe the media critic reviews are more trustworthy. It's just video games at the end of the day. I agree. They're meant to be enjoyed. And, you know, I just want to throw this out here as well. People, you know, I've had to deal with certain people having a problem that I still kind of advocate for exclusivity, right? Certain games being exclusive. It's like, dude, I want the record to show that I've stated numerous times, and I still feel this way. Like my excitement for this game would not be hindered whatsoever. I would still be here the exact same way I am today, checking reviews, checking to see what's going on. I've stated numerous times, Sony, just drop Death Stranding 2 on PC day one. Hell, put it on Xbox day one. Just let Kojima do what he wants. I don't care. But I understand that Sony's not going to want to do that. I understand that Sony's going to be like, no, we paid for this game. We funded and published this game. We're going to use it to sell consoles. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I want to see the console do well too, so I'm not against that per se. Go for it. But it's just funny to me that, like, me saying that means nothing to those groups and those people. It means nothing. It doesn't matter to them. Because if I say that, suddenly I'm advocating for what they claim to have such a problem with, right? I'm an advocate for, or no, I said that wrong. I'm advocating for the same thing they are, and am suddenly against the thing that they have such a problem with. Again, it fucks up their narrative. It destroys their narrative. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Kojima would have released it on a Walkman if he could. Garrett, you're saying you think it's a little bit more special knowing it's exclusive? I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, people don't like that sometimes I have a kind of middle-of-the-road take on exclusivity, but I do. You know, I have a middle-of-the-road take on it where I think it's just like all things, where there are pros and there are cons. Nothing is perfect, and I'm tired of dealing with people that just constantly want to deal in extremes. And unfortunately, on days like today, that's what I see the most. Not the people who are excited to play this game and stoked for it, but the opposite, the antithesis of that. The people who are like, you know, garbage game, or who gives a shit, you know, nobody cares about these PlayStation games or exclusives. It's just like, listen, man. You could sit here and advocate for being completely against exclusivity, You can't, in my opinion, you cannot do so in a genuine way without acknowledging that there are a few pros to exclusivity. That I'm not even the one telling you that. The developers have stated this themselves. The developers have stated numerous times. We've had numerous developers state that, yeah, I mean, when you're working on a game for one piece of hardware, you can get it done more quickly. Optimization takes less time. Development is usually more efficient. Now, that may come at the expense of, well, you have a more limited reach. Again, the push and the pull, the pro and the con. What's the pro of non-exclusivity? A wider reach. You can sell it to more people. What's the con? You probably have to take more development time to properly optimize and refine. It's literally that fucking simple, but for too many people out there, the conversation isn't allowed to be that simple. Because it's got to be, no, we have to scream about exclusives being bad because Microsoft said so. Apparently, right? Oh God, 0 Point. You're talking about Ghost of Yotei? Yeah, that's going to be a. Tyler, bro, what the hell? You think timed exclusivity might be the best of both worlds? Have a game developed for one system, make it the best it can be, and it can be important, and it can be ported to other places later. Raven X0, member for 10 months, says, "Oh, I can't for Ghost of Yotei. You can't wait for Ghost of Yotei to get a great review score, which I do trust Sucker Punch just to hear all the crap that they're going to make up. LOL, PS5, baby." I mean, yeah, it is frustrating, man. Like, I just, it's hard not to feel a little bit vindicated. That's all. I think that's why I'm kind of going on this rant. It's because I've had to deal with just the most ridiculous clowns for a lot longer than is reasonable for any person to have to deal with. And it's just so fucking annoying that we can't, it can't be allowed to go down this way is what I'm trying to say. Right? Where this is the W. This is the win. Objectively, factually. There is no opinion here. It is the win. You know? And because of that, it should be deemed unreasonable and irrational to try to go against that. Not that you can't go against it, but it should not be the quote unquote popular thing to do so. That's all I'm trying to say. It should not be deemed the more popular thing to do because it's like, well, okay, what do you have? You want to turn this W into an L, right? You want to turn the fact that Death Stranding 2, what is it? What is it? And that's the thing. Everything I just listed, that's what they have. It's, oh, you ponies are going to lose it when it goes to PC or comes to Xbox. No. Are you kidding? What? Who's going to lose it? Nobody's going to lose it. We all dude, every game that comes out, we know eventually goes to PC. So that's a mute point. Well, again, Sony doesn't own the IP, and what does that mean? How is that an L? It's not. Well, exclusivity is bad. But I don't get it. You just told me it's going to be coming to other platforms. So how can it be bad? Oh, you mean because it's timed exclusive. So now timed exclusives are bad too. So all exclusivity in any way, shape, or form is bad suddenly? Well, that's weird. When did that? Why? What if, who's putting the gun to the devs' heads to make these games exclusive? Did Sony put a gun to Kojima's head to make this game exclusive, or did Kojima agree to it? I'm just saying, man, like I'm seeing people twist themselves in the pretzels and do these mental gymnastics when it's just like either just silence or just admit that the thing that you claimed, PlayStation players wouldn't get or shouldn't look forward to or shouldn't care about. This is just the reminder that this is how it's been, bro. MBG, I know you know, right? Saying, MBG, we know the facts, bro. I know you know, SDO. And that's the craziest part to me. The craziest part is that this is not new. What is going on with Death Stranding 2 today is not new. This is how it's been consistently. And I get it. Some people want to bring up, like I said, the fact that, well, the first half of this year seemed like Sony didn't really have much. And I get it. Yeah, and that should be criticized, where it's like, Sony, you kind of, you left a little gap there. That's unusual. But when people start talking about that, like, that's the norm. That's how it's always been. Like, no, it hasn't. You're factually incorrect. That is an incorrect fact. Broccoli Rob, no way. No way, man. It's always when I'm in my most heated rants, got somebody saying some of the most out-of-pocket shit to just completely derail me. It's probably for my own good. I don't know, man. I just have to ask myself, like, when is the narrative going to finally fucking collapse? I need that, Broccoli Rob. I do. But I'm just waiting for the narrative to collapse, because that's really all I want to see happen. And it needs to collapse so that way we can get to a better place. Okay? Not just for PlayStation discourse or Xbox discourse, but for internet discourse around the gaming industry in general. We need these narratives to fucking collapse under their own weight and then never return. We need them to just be lit on fire. And the narratives I'm speaking of are suddenly exclusivity is the bane of the gaming industry. No. That narrative needs to die. If you want to talk about the pros and cons to pro exclusivity versus anti exclusivity, that's a fine conversation. We can have that all day, every day. If you want to constantly make it seem like Sony is doing something wrong and only point out the flaws, or same with Xbox, only point out the flaws and never give credit where it's due, that shit needs to die, man. We're living in a space right now, right, where I'm seeing people talk about the next gen Xbox and practically gooning over it, bro. You say one fucking word about the PS6, it's like, yo, what are you, out of your mind, you crazy pony? Like, we don't want a PS6. Who wants that shit? It's like, what? What do you mean? It's coming after the next Xbox, apparently. What are you talking about? Like, no, we don't talk about that here. So anyway, about that Xbox PC. And I'm just like, okay, like, that's not a fun conversation. Like, that's literally not interesting. And that discourse sucks balls, bro. One thing great, other thing trash. Come on. Yo, Microsoft just released Doom: The Dark Ages. That's great. That's great. Let's talk about how great it is. Let's talk about how great Avowed is. These are all great games. Fine games, right? But Death Stranding 2, whoa. Sony, you piece of shit. Sony, why is Death Stranding 2 not on my Xbox right now, you son of a bitch? Actually, yeah, more people did not enjoy the new Doom than I expected. But, yeah, it was pretty good. And that's the thing, like, I don't want the discourse to be like this, bro. But I get it, man. I just have this like little chip on my shoulder, I guess, because yeah, I've had to bear the brunt of these fucking annoying imbeciles for just too long. And I just, God, you know what? It's like, enjoy. Let's just enjoy it, right? Let's enjoy it, because it's like Death Stranding 2 comes in and it fucking, it takes a major shot at the narrative, and the narrative that's propagated and proliferates, the most disingenuous people attach themselves to it. It's like, dude, it's gonna collapse at some point. It's starting to, because people are going to wake up and realize that actually all the bullshit that these people are spewing, that's exactly what it is. It's bullshit, dude. Always has been. We get it, man. You fucking hate PlayStation. You hate PlayStation. You hate their games. You hate that they have exclusives. You hate that their console's still selling well. You hate that their fan base actually enjoys the shit that's going on over here. You hate that it's a fucking threat. You know, Sony just fucking steamrolls Xbox out of the console market. Suddenly you got PC players like, whoa. But it's like, no, dude, like, Sony's embracing PC because Microsoft gave up the competition. Sony's no longer a threat to anyone, truthfully, but it's vice versa. Xbox is no longer a threat to Sony, and PC's not a threat to Sony. If that was the fucking case, why would Sony be releasing their games on PC? It just seems to me that all these people really want to do is latch on to the fucking business reality of Microsoft, because they had no choice but to go in this direction of anti-exclusivity. And I get it. It's like, dude, you guys don't really get anything anymore, seemingly. Or now you have to question if everything that comes out, is it going to be day one PS5 or not? I get it. Like, Microsoft conditioned you to have exclusives and then is now trying to decondition you and condition you for something else. Recondition you to embrace the multi-platform future. And it's like, if the multi-platform future was always that great, why are you just advocating for it now? We all know why. If it wasn't for PC, Sony would have sold 200 million PS5s by now. I don't know about that. I don't think so, Laura Cannon. Truthfully, I could see maybe Sony having a few million more consoles sold, but why do the Xbots always get mad when Sony gets a W? Sorry, Josh. I'm ranting a little bit because it's just like, dude, I've been gaslit to fucking oblivion and back by these sons of bitches. And I don't know, man. I feel like Death Stranding 2 dropping, the review scores dropping. We got a banger coming in. I feel like it's a little bit of vindication here. Where it's like, so all the people that were talking shit this whole time, like, what? Let me guess. Death Stranding still sucks, or it doesn't matter now because it's not going to be exclusive in the future. Like, the excuses roll in, and it's like, just fucking admit it. Just admit that Sony knows what they're fucking doing. That they've known what they're doing for quite some time. That's all I'm saying. Just admit it. Like, they won't admit it. They won't admit it. I've admitted things about Xbox. They want to keep coming at me because they know that if I take the knee and I hold the L, which I've done many times, shockingly, I know people, maybe to some people it's not shocking, but I've done it many times where it's like, dude, listen, man, just take the knee this time and hold the L. It's fine. It's good. It's good to do that. Okay? We'll all hold the L's when we have to hold them. But it's good for this to happen because it will create a healthier environment for video game discourse. Than an environment where, it's not, well, we just have to project constant disdain for everything PlayStation does. Or we have to project constant disdain for every single thing Xbox does. It's like, no, we don't have to do either. Yeah, absolutely, bro. We held multiple L's for Concord. We held funerals for Concord, man. When something like Death Stranding 2 rolls around, we're gonna celebrate a little bit, We're gonna celebrate a little bit. We got Perfect Image with a $2 direct donation. And he says, MBG, I bet these PC heads want everything, but yet they got HBO, Netflix, Disney. Why the F? Why are they saying F the exclusives? Sorry, Rant, thanks for hearing. It's all good, Perfect Image. It's annoying, man. I know some of you guys see it, and it's annoying as all hell. And it just sucks because you know that moments like this, they're still gonna try to spin it. And that's what pisses me off, is they're gonna get away with it. They shouldn't be allowed to get away with that shit. They shouldn't. Nobody should. It's like, no, you can't spin this one. Just like they fucking tried to spin when Microsoft came out and increased the prices of games, accessories, and consoles. They somehow tried to spin it. Yeah, well, Sony's going to do it next. Well, guess what? They fucking didn't. Not yet. But they still didn't. So your spin, bullshit. There is no spin. It's an L. It's a giant fucking L. Hold it and wear it, and then we'll move on to the next thing. And we'll see who holds the L next. Leo Jimmy with the $10 super chat. He says, MBG money, not giving Microsoft credit for Doom or Call of Duty. Sony basically gave Kojima funding and a game engine, telling you straight up, PlayStation haters, through parade about Concord, canceled and Marathon getting delayed. Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. These are the same fuckers that are like, yeah, Microsoft is responsible for Doom and Call of Duty. Like, they didn't do shit, but just fucking drop the money on the table and fucking say you're mine now, bitch. That's what they did. Now, granted, when you got money like that, you can make moves like that. You can make moves like that. You can walk around and you can flex like nobody's business because you got the money. But you know what? What you're saying is true. Fucking Sony, Mark Cerny, Herman Hulst went on a goddamn world tour with Kojima. They went on vacations together and shit. They went on a world tour. They buttered that man up like I've never seen. And they gave him their own engine. And they said, well, fund your game. We'll even give you the engine to use. We got you, bro. We got you. So, yeah, if in return Sony just wants exclusivity for some time, yo, that's cool. Even Kojima's cool with that, right? And Sony even gave him a special contract where, like, after like 5 years, we'll let you have the IP, bro. It doesn't get any better than that. It does not get any better than that. Something tells me Sony was desperately hoping that Kojima would allow them to purchase his studio. But Kojima's like, oh, that's okay. It's okay. I'll take everything else you're offering. But so you're saying I'm trying to preload DS2, but my internet is crap. Hopefully it'll be ready. Mr. Hamster's trying to preload Death Stranding 2. I've been having a few issues with my internet too. Nothing major, but I've noticed it's been a little bit choppier. Wonder what's going on. Piper with a $5 chat says, bro, DS2 is a money hat. That W you're talking about, I think you should save some of this energy for a game that Sony actually made. Bro, Piper, ain't no way Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Piper's about to get me worked up, man. Just as I thought as I was cooling off. He's gonna have me spinning in my chair, man. I'm about to snap. It's all in good fun. It's all. I mean, look, I get a little bit heated with my rants, but it's not like dead serious. All right, it's not like that serious at the end of the day. It's all in good fun, dude. Oh my god, it says it's 98 degrees out though. My air's on, but man, it's fucking hot in here. Maybe the heat's starting to get to me, dude. God, did it peak yet? Hold on, is it peaking at 98 or is it going higher? I knew today was going to be brutal. Oh my god. Okay. No, I think this is the peak. It's peaking at 98. Shit, it's going to stay this way till like it's going to stay this way for like another 3 hours though. Oh man. All right. Yeah, dude, it's crazy hot out. Tyson Webb, love to see it, man. Thank you, bro. I mean, look, Piper, I got to tell you, man, like it's Death Stranding 2 is not a money hat. It's not a money hat. Like Death Stranding, I'm not going to say it wouldn't exist without Sony. That I think is a stretch. I think Kojima could have found somebody else to fund him. But again, man, I just think it cannot be ignored that like Sony went above and beyond and continues to go above and beyond with a lot of the studios they work with, and Kojima Productions being one of them. I'm just gonna put it out there, Piper. I'm just gonna put it out there and say it like it is. If the shoe was on the other foot, right? Like if Kojima Productions made Death Stranding 2 in conjunction with Microsoft, and even if Microsoft didn't own the IP and it launched today as an Xbox Series X exclusive, you would be seeing so many of these haters, bro. These supposed haters, they just have such a problem with exclusivity. They have such a problem with Death Stranding. They would be fucking, like I said, they'd be gooning over it, man. They'd be fucking losing it. They'd be the loudest, most vocal people out here screaming from the rooftops. And we all know that. We all know it. Yeah, just like, exactly. Leo Jimmy, just like Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm just saying, man, like it's cool. It's cool. It's fine. OD, if people want to file, whenever OD comes out, if it's an amazing game and people want to file it as a Microsoft W, I'll give them that W. Why would I not? If they're the one funding it, if they're the one that's like, yo, Kojima, we'll give you however much money you want for whatever the hell this is you're making. And even if it comes to PlayStation, it'd be like, yeah, that's still, that's all, like Microsoft made that happen. I can understand why people are like not so much in that space with like Call of Duty and shit. That'll change over time. But I don't know, man. I just think it's a sad state of affairs where I'm just tired of the whole. I'm tired. Listen, man, I'm tired of people making it seem like Microsoft has done anything other than fail up. That's what I'm tired of, and I'm tired of being gaslit over it. Like I'm tired of people trying to make it seem like somehow Sony is the fucking mega, big villain here in the tower. When it's like, what has Sony done that's so bad? They fucking made a console and they sold a lot of units and they succeeded and they made exclusives and their studios did a much better job than Microsoft's. They're the villain. Like I'm tired of the demonization of, oh well, this person, not person, but this company won the competition. So they're the bad guy. It's like, no, they won because they actually did what needed to be done correctly. They did a better job. They did their job better. That doesn't make them a villain. Now, granted, it doesn't mean they haven't made dumb decisions. It doesn't mean they haven't made bad decisions. Sony is far from perfect. But I'm just tired of this bullshit that persists from the same group of people where it's like, look at what Microsoft's doing. Like, yeah, look at what they're doing, bro. They're leaving the fucking console space to go to the PC space and trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes by making it sound like, isn't that so new and great? It's just like the ROG Ally X, bro. Yeah, I know I'm crashing out or whatever, but it's like, again, what is the ROG Ally X? It's a fucking device that already exists with an Xbox logo slapped onto it. I don't care if you want to love it and enjoy it and say it's the best thing ever. What I care about is don't do that shit and then turn to what Sony's doing or even what Nintendo's doing and making it seem like, yeah, they're fucking up the entire industry. Like, no, actually, they're doing their job well. And they don't have to do what Microsoft is doing because they didn't fuck up like Microsoft did. That's what it comes down to. But no, these people, they've been emboldened or something. Like these groups of people that I'm talking about, like they think, like, by me stating it turns out PlayStation does have games and they have some pretty good games, they seize, bro. They seize. They convulse. They fucking start foaming at the mouth and claiming I'm mentally ill because I'm just stating that, hey, I've encountered literally hundreds of posts of people telling me that Sony doesn't have any games, that we don't have anything to look forward to. I've been emboldened, Michael. Emboldened. E. I'm pretty sure it starts with an E. I don't know. These words just come to me sometimes. The Bolden. The Bolden. A Hideo Kojimbo rant. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of it, and I am gonna keep pushing back against it because fuck these people, man. I'm tired of their bullshit. Tired of the bullshit. Tired. I can picture MBG one day when he's older and at home, still waging the console war, whether cameras on or not. Elder MBG in the corner of a room in a wheelchair. Oh, that Xbox, I'll tell you. Let me tell you. Fucking Phil Spencer, Phil Spencer's been dead for many years. He ruined gaming. They took my exclusives. Fucking big ass white beard. Oh, liver spots all over my head. Oh my god, bro. I'm still wearing the same shirt. I'm gonna tell you, Sonic Crackdown 3 was the worst video game I ever experienced in my life. But Grandpa, did you actually play it? No. No, it was so bad. Oh man, Muscle Grandpa Gaming. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on anymore, man. I feel like I've totally gone off the rails. Wheelchair BG. Yeah. 50 years old, finally joining Xbox. Nobody said Norman Fetus yet. There's got to be something new. Old punished MBG is a vibe. Crackdown 3 did Terry Crews wrong, bro. How could they? All right. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. MBG getting gaslit in a home over xCloud. He's fucking somebody. Yeah, they're gonna put me in an Xbox branded wheelchair, bro. This is an Xbox. I don't need no Xbox. I'm gonna be wearing the blue PlayStation beanie. My old ass. Oh. Yeah, I saw that, dude. Apparently, there's gonna be layoffs at the studio that made Mind's Eye. The wheels are gonna have a big X on it. No, even better, just the whole wheel itself is just the Xbox logo because it's a circle, just 2 Xbox logos on the side. And then maybe just to make it extra cursed, the back of it is just going to be like Concord logo. Gonna have my oxygen tank. Oh man. I might still be making content on YouTube at that time. You know, depends on how far we go, how long I'll be doing this. Who knows what's going to happen? New Phantom Blade Zero event in July with a new playable demo. Ooh. When are they going to make that demo public, man? A branded Professor X. Oh, man. Yeah, call me Professor X box. Back in my day, we had to double dip buying games on every platform we wanted to play on. None of this play anywhere nonsense. Well, now that that's out of my system, I can play Death Stranding 2 in peace now. Bring back the Kojima abandoned streams. Yeah, I'm going to be like 90 in a wheelchair still talking about how it's real. Believe. Never forget. Good times, man. Good times. Well, let's go see what's going on. Let's go see what people are saying. All right. So we have a direct donation from Moonshot. And he says, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're basically saying yet another W for PlayStation and PlayStation gamers getting blessed with yet another banger. Correct. Correct, Moonshot. Yes. I know. It's shocking. I'm going to see if I can play at midnight. I don't know. I get up really early. So if I'm not playing at midnight, I'll be up real early playing. Wes, I'm acknowledging you, bro. That's good, Tarnished. That's good. But yeah, Moonshot, aka Josh, that's exactly what it boils down to, man. You know, I'm the obnoxious villain apparently though, right? I put out this. I just gotta tell you guys, fuck it, we're already here. I'll just embrace the chaos. I'm gonna read you this tweet that I put out, and I want you to tell me. I just want you to tell me if I'm in the wrong here. Maybe I am. I mean, listen, the way I see some people screech at me and get really upset, like I'm not trying. The thing is, I'm not trying to piss people off as much as it's just like, listen, you want to keep trolling me. You want to keep bringing your shit my way. Well, you know, I'm just going to state a fact, okay? And this is what I said. I said, unfortunately, there are some people who tried to claim PlayStation has no games leading up to a new PS5 exclusive that received mass critical acclaim. They would push a game like this aside as if it means nothing. Turns out PlayStation does have games, some very good games. Is that crazy? Am I an asshole? Am I a deranged fanboy for saying that? I am? I am. Well, fuck you. Yes, you are crazy, my friend. Fuck you. I'm in a music video? Yo, what music? Lux, what music video? Nah. You're saying like a real music video? No way. Bro's mad today. Bro's always mad. there is a new Chronos Combat trailer. I think I saw that pop up. I'm going to have to demand royalties, yeah. Royalties and feet pics. Isley, I know that's crazy, right? If you don't play it on stream, I'm unsubscribing. What, you talking about Death Stranding 2? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably stream it at some point. It probably won't be anytime soon, though. Truthfully. Because I just want to take my time with it. Want to get it, you know. Also, spoilers. People are going to want to play the game themselves. Moonshot with another direct donation says, okay, awesome. I'm glad I got a PS5. I mean, damn. I could be sitting here with an Xbox kicking and screaming money hat every 2 months. That's the correct narrative. That's the correct narrative, by the way, Moonshot, in case you're not aware. Yeah, that's the right narrative. If Sony or Nintendo lock down any exclusives, it's just nothing but money hatting, man. It's like, okay. All right. All right. Hold on. And it crashed again. Hold on, guys. Okay, we are back. Check it out. It's actually funny. And maybe copy strike for your image. Well, I mean, Lux, you got to tell me what it is. Who made the music video? What is this? Like, is it? I don't even understand. Is this like a like one of those random like compilation videos or something that people put, or is it like a genuine music video? Because I'm gonna need royalties, bro. Everyone, I look hot. Do you mean like I'm literally hot? It's like 97 degrees out or 98 degrees outside, so it's literally hot in here. Yeah, I feel hot. I'm cooking. I'm roasting in here. Well, I mean, you know, it's not literally 98 in here, but did you see the Death Stranding 2 early access embargoes for streamers? Can only show up to the second act during early access. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they don't want to. It seems like most of the important stuff really starts to happen after Act 1. So I don't think they want to, you know. All right, hold on. What? Okay. I don't have you blocked, Tarnish, but I think my Moonshot account blocked. Oh God, Nathan Drake, come on, man. We can't go down this road. We can't go down this road, bro. Wes, you're not helping. You're not helping. Where the F did Lux... Bro, I've been waiting for Lux to tell me about this music video. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I was muted. My bad. I gotta stop doing that. We're good. We're back. I'm sorry. All right. Oh, okay. Oh shit, dude. Oh my god, that looks. This is cursed. No, dude, no. This is bad, bro. No. No. No, you can't make me the guitar player, bro. I play the drums. I literally play the drums. You can't. Oh, Jesus. This is cursed. That's cursed as all hell, man. No. 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 I'm not showing it. No. I'm not showing it. you look it up yourself. Oh, that I'm so disappointed I'm not the drummer though. Dude, come on. Come on. Yeah, boo. Yo, Luna, what's wrong? Luna, what's wrong? Come here. Luna's completely panicked right now. I don't know why. Controller My Heart, the PlayStation anthem. We got to make, you know what? We got to make a legit PlayStation band though. For real. What would be the name of that band? I mean, the Ponies is the easiest one. The Ponies. I'm sure you guys could come up with a better name though. Mighty Key put out a video about Stellar Blade on PC. Haven't seen it yet. All right, where are we at time wise? Oh, okay. Oh wow. Okay, I've been streaming longer than I thought. The Strands. The Dual Sensations. That's pretty good. Novinzer, I feel like you've been waiting for this moment because did you really just come up with that on your own? Like just like that? Hold on, let me get out of here. Shit. Just PSSR. The Dual Sensations. MBG's Money Hat. The Money Hatters. Oh my god, Goon Platoon. At least I have hair in the video. Oh wait, did I? I thought I was wearing a hat. Yo, I had hair? Okay, this just got way more cursed. Michael, bro. Split die swoop. Dude, I'm dying. No way. I'm just gonna get I'm just next stream I'm just gonna have a pink wig. Rage Against the Microsoft Machine. You know what though? That's pretty good. No, I can't link it. I can't encourage that. I can't encourage the behavior. It's funny, but I can't encourage it. It's bad business. It's bad for business, bro. Microsoft is adding Steam games to its Xbox PC app on Windows for insider testing. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense that they're going to have to do some testing and stuff before, they fully integrated or whatever. Just the name of the band is Nanomachine Sons. No, Nanomachine Sons. There you go. Sorry. I was getting confused reading that. Nanomachine Sons. These are pretty good. These are some pretty good band names, dude. I like the name too. Want some treats? Oh shit! Too many treats there. The name of the band is Lies of Phil. Oh man, this is a cursed stream. It started out so good. It started out mostly normal. I can't say completely normal. It never starts out completely normal. All right. I guess we should probably get back to talking about video games. Should we? I don't know. Are we past the point of no return? Come on, Leia, watch out. You're gonna hit the power strip. Go, 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 go. All right, Shems. Lead the way. Michael says we can go back. You'll allow it. No, I haven't seen 28 Years Later yet. Not yet. I'm hoping to in the next week or two. I really want to see it. Gregory, you think so? Well, I'll have to determine for myself. I did just watch the other two, so. Josh, you think there's too many games? Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I got to be honest. Like, it begins with Death Stranding 2. Hold on, I got to give Leia a couple of her own treats because she's causing me problems here. I mean, Josh, when it comes to there being too many games, what I will say is that Death Stranding 2 sounds like it's going to be a pretty long game. It seems like if you just want to mainline it, it's going to be kind of long. But if you want to like platinum it or get every trophy, it seems like it's going to take probably close to 100 hours or so. That's kind of my read on it. And so starting with Death Stranding 2, going into July, August, September, October, and then, obviously November and December, there's going to be some releases. It does feel like it's going to start to become difficult to keep up. I ran into this problem last year where there was just too many games coming out month after month. And I just couldn't keep up. Ray, I don't hate you, man. Bro, it's all good. You did Death Stranding 1 and 3 parts to platinum it. Yeah, I don't like to rush platinums either. I still haven't finished Days Gone, so I'm gonna have to continue to kind of chip away at Days Gone to get to clean up the rest of those trophies while I'm playing Death Stranding 2, which is what I wanted to avoid. But yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do that. You still haven't played Death Stranding 1, so you're skipping DS2. No. No, Tarnished, have you seen the chat? No. You're good. You're good. It's all good, bro. All good here. Shems, you think I missed out on Space Marine? Well, I mean, I know a game that I'm going to play probably alongside. See, this is where it's getting messy because I still have like probably like 15 to 20 trophies to clean up for Days Gone to get a complete 100%. And then Death Stranding 2, I'm going to be playing that starting tomorrow. And then in July, so I'll probably still be playing Death Stranding in July. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is dropping. So there's a chance I'm going to have like 3 games on rotation there. But, you know, going into August, man, I mean, there's Metal Gear, but there's also Dying Light the Beast. There's Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. I mean, it's too much. It's too much, man. Like, it's too many of these games are releasing too close to one another. You think I could knock out Space Marine in a few hours? Yeah, that was a game that I'd planned to play, but it becomes too easy to just kind of end up, you end up getting swept away in other games, other stuff that comes out. Yeah, Silent Hill F in September. You gotta be kidding me. Mr. B, you're saying Gears Reloaded seems underwhelming. Feed me less, Sony. You think Metal Gear needs to be delayed? I don't think it needs to be delayed. And yeah, we have Ghost of Yotei is coming in October, but we got the State of Play for it coming next month. So it's going to be busy. A lot of gaming. A lot of gaming to be had. You think Metal Gear seems more like a remaster than a remake? It seems to be like achieving that middle ground where it's remastered. It's remastered in the sense that it's like trying to be as close to 1-to-1 as possible, but it's a remake in the sense of, I think, graphical fidelity, and they have changed some animations and mechanics where like it definitely needed to be changed for it to not feel like a game. It can't feel like a game that came out. It can't play like a game that came out in 2004. But oh my God, Prince G, that's cursed. If the frame rate in MGS, the MGS trailers like that on release, delay it. I don't know that last trailer they released. Some people, I am noticing like some people are getting a little bit nervous. They're getting a little bit nervous, thinking like, is there a reason they haven't shown raw gameplay yet? What was up with that last trailer? And I get it, but I mean, they would have to. Konami would have to mess up pretty badly. Truthfully, they would have to mess up pretty badly to get me to not enjoy it. The Python Salkin video, I didn't see that. What were they saying? Yeah, I think Metal Gear Solid 1 would need the full from the ground up remake treatment, where I don't think you can actually remaster that at this point. I mean, it's a PS1 game, and I don't think you build from the GameCube remaster or remake. Serious graphic problems. See, I'm really confused because everything we've seen of Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta up until that last trailer looked incredible. So I don't understand like how just suddenly it's like missing effects. I hope they don't mess it up, man. That's going to be, I mean, I'll still enjoy it no matter what. I'll be honest. I mean, should we watch the video? Do you think we should watch the video? Because now I'm curious. You think there's an insider report saying DuskBloods may come to PS5 and PC a year after Switch 2's release? I wouldn't be shocked about that. I could definitely see that happening. You love Twin Snakes, Prince G? You still have a copy? Don, bro. So from the Gaming Leaks Rumor subreddit, just a heads up, it says here, the official link, hey, Xbox Insider starting this week. Users enrolled in the PC Gaming Preview can get a first look at the new aggregated gaming library in the Xbox PC app for Windows 11 PCs and handheld devices. This feature will be available this holiday on the ROG Ally X and Xbox Ally X. Okay, well, there you go. There's confirmation of that. I'm looking for the DuskBloods report, though. I'm not seeing that. Yeah, I don't know where that report's coming from. The animations in Delta seem unchanged from 20 years ago. I mean, yeah, but I feel like they were only going to change animations that really seemed like it truly needed a change. I don't know. How is FromSoft going to release a multiplayer game and make it Nintendo only? Makes no sense. Yeah, that kind of doesn't make sense the more I think about it. Oh, it's an older report? Okay. I mean, it would be quite surprising if the DuskBloods never leaves Nintendo. That would be surprising. It kind of wouldn't make sense. Yeah, it's a multiplayer game. I mean, I could see it being a year timed exclusive. Maybe it's not, though. Maybe it's not. No, I didn't see that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't deal with that. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I don't even want to think about Metal Gear Solid Delta like coming out with issues or having a lot of problems that Konami hit. I don't even want to think about that. I can't. Don't ruin this for me. I'll tell you I'm sorry right now in advance. You think I should watch the video? All right, I guess we should. I guess I should judge for myself. All right, hold on. Python Salkin, right? The fuck? Okay. I don't Oh shit. Okay, that was because I accidentally opened my my video downloader. What the hell? Hold on. Don't ruin it for MBG. Come on, guys. It probably will suck though. Well, let's see. Let's see.
Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here.
Metal Gear is a very special franchise for many gamers out there, and Snake Eater is generally considered to be the holy grail of Metal Gear games. An action-packed cinematic masterpiece that not only exceeded expectations at the time of its release, but that ended up becoming a benchmark for the entire gaming industry. In other words, Snake Eater is one of the most important video games out there, and one has to work very hard to honor its legacy with a remake in today's day and age.
The legacy,
As most of our viewers know, this channel is run by two of the most die-hard Metal Gear fans one can find. That said, everything we say in our videos is our honest opinion, so if we feel something needs to be said, we won't let our passion for this franchise get in the way. as will be the case in today's video. How's it going, guys? Python Sulkin here. Hope you're all doing well. Now, we have no doubt that Metal Gear Solid Delta will prove to be one of the finest looking games this year. As we've said since the first day we've seen gameplay, the game looked visually stunning, even in pre-alpha stage, and our opinion on its visuals hasn't really changed. However, a game is not just defined by its visuals, and the way the Snake Eater remake is being developed is treading dangerous ground of expectations more than any other remake. The way Konami is keeping the exact same locations, the same loading screens, the same voiceovers, and many other same stuff is shaping Delta to be too much of the same game. And
Yo, I just gotta say real quick, yeah, that reload animation with Ocelot and the revolvers, pretty unsettling. Always was, still is.
sure, that may be the point of keeping it faithful to the original, but in doing that, they are also raising high levels of expectations, which could be very risky for its success. A large part of what made the Silent Hill 2 remake successful was the fact that it was a larger reimagining of the game, while keeping the original's concept, very much like what Capcom did with the Resident Evil 4 remake. Of course, a reimagining like that could still be hit or miss, but in a way, fans still get to experience a new game, built on what made the original great. The fact that Konami is making the Snake Eater remake so identical to the original means players will have a lot more to compare than with other remakes, and which also means critics will find more faults to expose. Consider this. Konami's been marketing Delta Snake Eater as one of their upcoming big games for over 2 years now, yet during an Xbox Developer Direct event, Team Ninja announced a new game in the series of Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shadow dropped an entire Ninja Gaiden 2 remake on the very same day it was announced. A perfect marketing strategy in anticipation of their next big game. It's like saying Konami announces Metal Gear Solid 6 at an event, and right after its reveal, they announce and immediately release Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, minus the years of waiting, of course. In a competitive industry such as this, Delta's announcement came too early for Konami's good, especially for the fact it will be so much of the same game, right down to the outdated loading.
Alright, well, we're almost halfway through the video, and I gotta say, like, at least with this first point, I don't know what the other points they're going to bring up. I am in complete disagreement. Like, I understand what they're saying. Do I think Konami could have held off on announcing this and just waited until it was much closer to release? Yes. Would expectations in general be better off for that? Yes. But I mean, for me, like, I couldn't care less, you know? Where it's like, okay, so I knew about this for 2 years before it came out. That's not going to make me enjoy it any less. You know what I mean? But we'll keep going, see what else they bring up.
Screens. The only way Delta can ever be safe from criticism is if it was an exceptionally perfect remake. But after the recent gameplay trailer, fans seem to be heavily divided on what to expect. We've been receiving a huge amount of comments and messages following the latest Metal Gear Solid Delta footage. And to be honest with you guys, what these viewers are sending us are all concerns we also had. Most of the game's animations are looking unrealistic for the current generation in comparison to its stunning visuals. Simple things like the way Snake runs around all floating like, the fast crawling, the way he dive rolls and gets back on his feet super fast, the way Ocelot runs, reloads and fires, the way the Fury is knocked on the ground. It's almost as if some of these animations are being made for the PlayStation 2 version of the game. And we get that the remake is staying faithful to the original, but you can't be that faithful in 20 reloads and fires.
Wait, what did he say? That they're being made for the what version of the game?
The way the Fury is knocked on the ground. It's almost as if some of these animations are being made for the PlayStation 2 version of the game. And we get...
Do you guys know what he said there? They're being made for the what version of the game? Yeah, he said the PlayStation That's what I thought it sounded like that. I don't understand what he means. Does he mean like the PS2? Okay, like the original PlayStation 2 version. All right.
Get that the remake is staying faithful to the original, but you can't be that faithful in 2025 and expect everyone to like it. Even MGS5, which turns 10 years this year, had more realistic looking animations than what we're seeing in Delta. We're also not completely convinced with how some of the characters' faces are still looking, such as Volgin, or even Ocelot, who looks totally off compared to his original face.
I mean, I don't think he looks completely off, but I do think that, like, his eyebrows, like, they shouldn't, like, he shouldn't be, like, smiling, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like this is a little nitpicky.
They may have already fixed the boss, which we even talked about in our previous videos, but these two could definitely use some work. And we're aware that this new Ocelot model resembles old Ocelot more than the original did, but he still doesn't look good in certain scenes. This new Ocelot model resembles old
See, this is what's interesting to me. It's absolutely true that the face model that they're using for the remake does look much more in line with like the older Ocelot, like from PS2. But it does look different from the original, so I could understand.
Ocelot more than the original did, but he still doesn't look good in certain scenes. Like, what's up with his face here? And while you'd expect the interiors to stand out in Unreal Engine visuals, the Fury's boss battle seems to be lacking in terms of quality light.
Yo, something really doesn't look right with his attack going down the corridor like that. Something's really not looking right there, bro.
There's literally little to no reflection whatsoever when it comes to Fury's flames, which is quite disappointing for a 2025 remake. When it comes to the multiplayer aspect, and how Konami are giving us Fox Hunt, we honestly never expected the original MGO to be remade in today's day and age, so at this point, we'll just take what we can get. I mean, there was always the possibility that we weren't getting anything when it comes to multiplayer, so there's still something to be grateful for regarding online play for Delta.
Completely
now, what
agree.
we discussed in this video are all concerns we're having with Delta ourselves as longtime fans, but the fact that we're seeing so many comments on these same issues shows there truly is cause for concern. That said, opinions vary, and we're sure there are those who don't agree, and that's fine. We're all entitled to different opinions, but keep in mind that the future of the Metal Gear series lies on the success of Delta Snake Eater. So we can only hope Konami prove themselves like they did with the Silent Hill 2 remake, even though that was made by a different developer. There's still time for Konami to fix these issues, pre or post-release. The Master Collection Volume 1 came a long way since its release years ago, thanks to continuous updates by Konami after release, so when it comes to Delta, it's certainly possible.
All right, well, I gotta say, I was expecting something way worse. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really share the same concerns. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, where there's a real chance, for sure, that some people are going to be kind of disappointed, you know, maybe they just had different expectations. But I don't know, man. I'm still just as excited as I was. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3 is truly like one of my top. I mean, it might be my number one all-time game. It's up there, top 3 for sure. And it doesn't need to be perfect, at least for me. I think it looks great. I'm just really happy it's happening. You know, it's like I feel the exact same way about the multiplayer mode, where it's like the fact that it even exists. It's not exactly what I would have wanted if I got to choose. I would have preferred like Metal Gear Online, but yeah, it's a nice little surprise, and I didn't really expect. I thought Konami really was done with games, and so they come out with Silent Hill 2 remake. Now they're doing MGS Delta. I'm all for it. Titus, you're coming in at the worst time, bro, because I think this is where I'm gonna actually wrap up today's stream, because I only did come in with one topic, and I came in just wanting to talk to you guys about Death Stranding 2 on the beach. The reviews are out. I'm sorry, Titus. I know. I'm sorry. It's okay, though. You can come back and rewatch it. I went on some crazy rants. I don't know if I call them crazy, but I definitely went on some rants. Got a little bit unhinged. But, yeah, they're using the original voices for MGS Delta. But yeah, I wanted to go over some of the reviews. It's looking really, really good. Let me just double check, see if it's still holding on. Yep, 103 views, sitting at a 90 on Metacritic. So Death Stranding 2 seems like it's going to be a great game. I was expecting it to be, but now we have at least, from a critical side, from a reviewer side, it's hanging on to a 90. Looks like it's going to be a Game of the Year contender. And for those who get the digital deluxe version, it's coming out tonight at midnight. We'll be playing it tomorrow. And for anybody who bought it physically, it'll be coming out 2 days. And yeah, obviously, once I get some time with the game and play it myself for a little while, I'll talk to you guys about it, give my thoughts, give my impressions. And yeah. We have a direct donation from Titus before we head out here, and thank you for that, Titus. And he says, "I'm glad you are still excited for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I'm excited too, no matter what that video just showed." Yeah, I mean, it's like I was saying, it would take a lot to dissuade me, to make me feel like, some of the animations might not be perfect. Hopefully performance issues aren't a thing, but I can't deny that it would have to be just a complete screw up, I mean, something really, really bad to dull my excitement for Metal Gear Delta. So Titus, we're on the same page, bro. Ain't nothing bringing our hype down. We're ready. Now that I said that, the game's probably going to be a complete broken mess when it comes out. I'm sorry. It's my fault. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up today's stream. I'm going to actually end the poll here. You can see the results. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to give a very big shout out to everybody who dropped support today. We had Silent Spartan come in and dropped 50 more memberships again. He's been an absolute monster when it comes to the support that he's been showing the channel and the community. So thank you, Silent Spartan, for that incredible support. And anybody if like Digital Dude, he dropped some member gifts, but anybody who dropped super chats, direct donations, you guys already know I'm only able to do this because you guys make it possible. So thank you so much for that support. And I also want to make sure to give a shout out to Devil Shooter, who does the timestamps for the streams. If you guys see him in the comments, show him some love, give him some thanks. I know he really appreciates it. And yeah, Devil Shooter, we appreciate what you do, man. And that does it. So, guys, I'm going to go try to stay cool for the rest of the day because it's like scorching. It's like scorching outside. And I'm going to get prepared to play some Death Stranding. And so just be on the lookout. I'm not sure if we're going to be streaming or not tomorrow. We may or may not be. Just have your notifications turned on. And the only other thing I'm going to ask you to do is hit that like button as you're heading out. And that does it. So, guys, please enjoy the rest of your day. And if you're going to be playing Death Stranding tonight, I hope you enjoy it. And I will catch you in the next one. So, till then, take care, everyone.